Hi, this is New Time on Silkway TV channel. We introduce you with the most visible news and important events that happen throughout this week in Kazakhstan and Central Asia. More details on politics, economy, social and cultural life with opinions from the most recognizable experts of Kazakhstan and world. I'm Ainur Mangali, and this is what you'll see today. First historical state visit of President of Kazakhstan to Qatar, which Kazakh industries will receive billions of Qatari investments. "25 world leaders and 300 ministers met in Dubai at the World Summit of Governments. What Kazakh project has been recognized with Gulf Tech Award? $20 million will be allocated for ecology projects in Central Asia. New Time reporters talked to the CEO of Global Environment Facility to learn more details. New victories to come. Legendary Kazakh racehorse Kaburhan is preparing for the Dubai World Cup. This week, the president of Kazakhstan made his first state visit to Qatar. Given the number of signed agreements and the packed agenda, the visit can undoubtedly be marked as historic. The head of state held talks with the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. The leaders discussed issues related to agriculture, logistics and tourism. In particular, Tokayev called on Qatar to collaborate on the development of a transport network connecting the Persian Gulf and Central Asia, aiming to boost economic activity in the region. Additionally, they addressed current issues on the regional and international agenda. Following the negotiations, a series of agreements on social and economic matters were signed in the presence of the leaders of two countries.
Qatar is our reliable and important partner in the Islamic world. I think it is time to give a new impetus to our bilateral relations. In this regard, I propose to raise mutual relations between Kazakhstan and Qatar to the level of full-fledged strategic partnership. I am confident that the new agreements signed during my visit will shape a strategic nature to our cooperation. We attach great importance to our relations, as Qatar is a special country for us.
Last year, Kazakhstan and Qatar celebrated a significant milestone, the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations. However, it's in recent years that relations between the two countries have truly intensified, as reflected in the numbers. While in 2019, the bilateral trade turnover amounted to only $2 million, by the end of 2023 it had reached nearly $10 million. For the brief history of diplomatic relations between Kazakhstan and Qatar, please watch our special explainer section.
In 1993, Kazakhstan established diplomatic relations with Qatar, one of the wealthiest countries in the Persian Gulf. Just 6 years later, in 1999, then Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, who is the father of the current leader, made his first state visit to Kazakhstan. Qatar, as a Persian Gulf state, holds significance as a crucial partner for Kazakhstan. Building friendly relations with all countries in Persian Gulf, including Qatar, is considered a result of diplomatic finesse, said a political expert Emin Jabarov.
Qatar actually is not an ordinary Gulf country. It's a different country. It's not quite in the bloc with other Gulf states. It has its own big political agenda in Gulf, in Islamic world. Qatar has been a rival for Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states for a long period. Being able to establish relations with all countries in the region, including Qatar, once again demonstrates our multi-vector policy, where we don't take sides.
A significant milestone in the reset of cooperation between Kazakhstan and Qatar can be marked by the state visit of the Emir of the Middle Eastern state to Astana in October 2022. Leaders of both countries demonstrated a commitment to deepening diplomatic ties and expanding collaboration. This commitment was underscored by the signing of 12 agreements covering cooperation in the fields of agriculture, healthcare and trade. One of the investment-related agreements from that meeting has already been ratified by Kazakhstan this year. On February 2, the President of Kazakhstan signed a law on mutual promotion and protection of investments between both governments.
Qatar is a crucial ally, a significant player in both economic and political fields, and an investor in the Kazakh economy. Therefore, we need to have an approach that ensures the protection of Qatari and Kazakh investments. From 2005 to 2022, Kazakhstan attracted investments totaling $55 million. The investment protection law is necessary to attract larger inflows and establish a favorable investment climate.
In December of 2023, Qatar and Kazakhstan signed an agreement on military cooperation. On that occasion, a delegation led by the Minister of Defense of Kazakhstan arrived in Doha. Under the agreement, the parties may collaborate in the field of military medicine, military education and combat training. During exercises, Kazakh and Qatari soldiers can jointly use the airspace and military training grounds of both countries at certain times. Kazakhstan has similar agreements with Turkey, Tajikistan, Russia and the United States. Thus, friendly diplomatic relations enable the development of ties in all areas of state activity, implying that new agreements and investments are anticipated. Daurian Sagulov, Raimbek Beguzhaev, New Time.
The level of cooperation and political dialogue between Qatar and Kazakhstan raised on the new high level, said the ambassador of Kazakhstan to Qatar, Arman Isagaliyev. He mentioned that both leaders met each other 7 times just in the last 2 years, let alone 100 delegations meetings. Such close ties only strengthen the strategic partnership, said the Kazakh ambassador.
The political dialogue from the beginning was very good, was perfect. And we support each other in all international organizations. We support our initiatives, each other, our candidates to nominated to in different international organizations. And now we want to transfer this high level of cooperation to economic and investment sector.
President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev took part in the Kazakhstan-Qatar Investment Roundtable. Addressing representatives of the Qatari business community, the Kazakh leader expressed hope for the further strengthening of Kazakh-Qatari economic relations in all spheres. For example, the president stated that Qatar and Kazakhstan could collaborate in the extraction and processing of critical materials such as lithium, cobalt and nickel. Additionally, the countries could explore opportunities in the field of digital technologies. The head of state informed Qatari investors that the United Nations has recognized Kazakhstan as one of the top 30 countries for adopting to digital technologies. Over the last 3 years, IT exports reached almost $500 million. Tokayev mentioned that Kazakhstan's chosen path bears some similarities to Qatar's, with policies promoting open doors and vast resources, attracting numerous foreign companies, including those from Qatar. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev addressed the Consultative Assembly of the State of Qatar, touching upon the issue of establishing peace in the Middle East. The president of Kazakhstan became the first foreign leader to address members of the Qatari Consultative Assembly. Tokayev emphasized the need to recognize that geopolitical conflicts, disagreements and terrorism are dominating the international agenda, undermining the global security architecture. In his speech, he praised Qatar's peacekeeping role in its mediation efforts in numerous conflicts around the world, including in Palestine.
Violence only leads to violence and inevitably causes tragic consequences for the Middle East and the rest of the world. Therefore, high-level diplomacy is imperative to prevent further escalation. We need a concentrated effort by all concerned parties, including regional partners and global leaders, to put the situation on the path toward peace and a two-state solution.
The head of state also shared Kazakhstan's perspective on current global events. According to him, dialogue is the only way to create a conducive environment for reaching consensus. The president of Kazakhstan emphasized that the substantial development of partnership with Qatar directly depends on security and stability in the region, including Afghanistan.
Kazakhstan provides assistance to Afghanistan, including through the United Nations and other international organizations' channels. As part of our efforts to boost economic cooperation with this country, Kazakhstan has removed the Taliban movement from the list of terrorist organizations. We believe that this step together with our exertions on the establishment of the United Nations Regional Center on SDGs for Central Asia and Afghanistan in Almaty, will contribute to Afghanistan's further integration into global community.
Over 25 world leaders and 300 ministers met in Dubai for the World Summit of Governments. The Kazakh delegation has achieved great success in its work. A project from Kazakhstan has received the prestigious GovTech Award for its innovative government services based on artificial intelligence. My colleague Balzhan Samigulina is now in Dubai. Balzhan, what other highlights emerged from the WGS?
Good evening, colleague. The World Government Summit has established itself as an authoritative dialogue platform, and of course this year was no exception. Dozens of high-level discussions and meetings were held here at the panel sessions and ministerial meetings. This year its theme is devoted to the formation of future governments. Kazakhstan in this context has signed an agreement with Foresight AI Ltd. This UAE company will create the supercomputer for our country and build a data processing center.
During World Government Summit, yesterday we've signed the term sheet of creation of a supercomputer in Kazakhstan. It will allow us to provide the computing power for our AI entrepreneurs and to build the Kazakh LLM, Kazakh Large Language Modeling. In the June of 2024, we will be able to use this supercomputer.
As noted before, the Kazakh Digital Family Map project received the GovTech Award from the United Arab Emirates. It was recognized as the best in the field of inclusive digital transformation. Let me remind you that the Digital Family Card is a unique scoring model which takes into account information about citizens from more than 40 government databases. Based on more than 100 criteria, the model helps to determine the category of well-being of families, which makes it possible to provide assistance to those in need.
Данный проект, я считаю, что победил по ряду причин.
I believe this project has emerged victorious for several reasons. Foremost is its social impact, as it actively seeks out individuals facing challenging life circumstances and provides assistance based on available resources.
One of the interesting agreements of the summit was the launch of the world's first air taxi in Dubai. Air transport will be provided by the American company Joby Aviation and start operating since 2026. According to representatives Oliver Walker-Jones, the company plans to enter other markets as well, including perhaps the Central Asian region.
So this is an all-electric taxi, air taxi. It takes off and lands vertically and it flies forward like a normal aircraft. It carries 4 passengers and 1 pilot, and we just announced here in Dubai that we plan to launch a service using this taxi as soon as 2025. So we believe that this technology would be applicable anywhere in the world where there's traffic, which is basically anywhere in the world. We look forward to introducing it in 2024, 25, and then expanding it to the world.
In the meantime, the countries of the Central Asian region are developing their own joint projects. For instance, colleagues from Kyrgyzstan told us about collaboration with Kazakhstan in the field of space technologies.
There are discussions, there are many exciting things going on. The latest discussions that we're having with brotherly Kazakhstan is, of course, taking advantage of the satellites, the network of satellites, space technology that Kazakhstan has very advanced, and they have offered us to use them jointly, this space technology.
Uzbekistan's Minister for Digital Technology, Sharzod Shermatov, also shared with us about the project to sign with UAE and the intention to make Central Asia as an IT hub moving together.
We would like to promote Central Asia as an IT hub for the world, because it's not so easy to promote each and every country like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan separately. So we try to promote Central Asia together as an IT hub where companies from all over the world can look as a bigger market.
The WGA site gathered distinguished guests from Qatar, India, Turkey, African and Central Asian countries. The top leaders discussed geopolitics and conflict in the Middle East, the threat of a new pandemic, as well as the implementation of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The summit participants noted that all these problems need to be solved only through joint efforts. Colleague, that's it from World Government Summit in Dubai. Giving back floor to you.
Thank you very much. Balzhan Samigulina reported from Dubai. Let's stop on Kazakhstan-UAE relations. Since establishing diplomatic ties in 1992, the two nations have consistently backed each other's foreign policy endeavors. Kazakhstan and the UAE collaborate in various international forums such as CICA, the Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions, and the Climate Summit COP28. Last year, bilateral trade between the countries reached $329 million, as reported by Kazakhstan's Bureau of National Statistics. The commitment to further strengthening cooperation was reiterated by Halfan Belhol, CEO of Dubai Future Foundation, during the World Government Summit.
Relationship is only going to go from strength to strength. There are so many synergies between the leadership and what can be achieved. There are potential projects that are coming up. But at least even at the Dubai Future Foundation level, we are open to explore different opportunities that can come from the relationship between both countries.
Kazakhstan has been included for the first time in the list of middle powers, according to the special report by German Institute for International and Security Affairs. By middle powers, analysts mean countries that play a significant role on the global political and economic stage. According to German researchers, Kazakhstan stands out, particularly in comparison to other Central Asian states, due to its distinct foreign policy. The report's authors suggest that middle powers can take on a diplomatic role in resolving regional conflicts. Another significant aspect highlighted by experts is Kazakhstan's rapid development of economic ties with Western countries and China, especially in the energy sector. It's worth noting that the list of middle powers also includes Saudi Arabia, Israel, India, and Turkey. The Global Environment Facility, or GEF, will allocate around $20 million in restoring ecosystems in Central Asia, said Carlos Manuel Rodriguez, the CEO of GEF, in an exclusive interview for New Time. The organization is collaborating with the UN Development Program in Kazakhstan on the project Conservation and Sustainable Management of Key Globally Significant Ecosystems. This week, Rodriguez visited Kazakhstan to discuss environmental issues and biodiversity with the Kazakh government. He mentioned that over 85% of collaborative eco-projects with Central Asia and Kazakhstan are considered successful. Please watch the fragment of the interview right now.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let us go straight to the point. Following the agenda of your visit, could you please tell us what projects will the Global Environment Facility be working here in Central Asia and in Kazakhstan particularly? And how much money is going to be allocated, please?
Well, it is a great pleasure to be with you all today. The GEF has been working in Central Asia and with Kazakhstan for almost 30 years. We've been working in nature conservation by supporting the countries in establishing their system of protected areas, particularly with regards to charismatic wildlife that was highly threatened. So biodiversity conservation has always been a major issue, a major topic of success. Nowadays, climate change, and particularly the need to help in decarbonizing the economy, are one of the main elements that we've been working and investing in this country. So today we have an agenda that goes beyond specific sectors like nature conservation and biodiversity, and really trying to work beyond the country at the regional level, particularly in helping them be more resilient to the extreme events of climate change.
Mm-hmm. May I ask you how much money is going to be allocated for these projects, for new projects?
Well, we have an allocation of around $20 million, but if you see the possibilities to leverage those resources at the regional level, we can be easily thinking for the region, Central Asia, around $50 million in a combination of different windows of grant making. And let me clarify, what we do is to provide grant monies. These are not loans like we normally see when we talk about climate mitigation.
Mm-hmm. What will be the indicator of the success and effectiveness of these projects? I mean, what results will be clear sign that these budgets has been used properly?
Well, we have a very solid, strong monitoring frameworks and results frameworks where we measure the implementation of the project. Central Asia, and particularly Kazakhstan, has always provided very good results with the JEF resources. Above 85% of all the projects that has been done here are ranked highly satisfactory.
Could you tell us, for our viewers, what are the goals of these projects?
Well, the goals is to help the governments implement their national plans to climate change, national plans to protect biodiversity, national plans on food security, on water security. Fresh water is a big, big issue for Central Asia, as Central Asia is becoming more and more vulnerable to climate change. So these are the main priorities.
It is known that Global Environment Facility works hard on the preservation on protection of biodiversity. One of the Kazakhstan's national symbol is actually a snow leopard. According to the latest data, its population is estimated to be 180. It's not a very big numbers, actually. How is the UNDP and GEF partnership helping Kazakh scientists to expand the snow leopard's habitat and protect the species here in Kazakhstan?
Well, a snow leopard is an indicator of the species that tell us the health of the ecosystems. If you have snow leopards in a region, that means that ecosystem is really working from the ecological point of view. The JEF has helped to increase the areas for protection of snow leopard up to almost 1 million hectares in the last 15 years. And this is great. There's a correlationship with the investment that the JEF has done with the number of snow leopards in Kazakhstan. And yes, probably 150, 200 snow leopards sounds like small, but the tendency is to the increase of population, as opposed to many other countries where the tendency is decreasing. So I'm very optimistic that this country will continue creating the right conditions for the snow leopards.
Mr. Rodriguez, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for the interview.
My pleasure.
And thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Kazakhstan's national carrier Air Astana successfully completed its initial public offering IPO on 3 stock exchanges. The company raised $370 million, 120 million of which will be allocated for its development and fleet expansion. Following the IPO, the government stake in the airline decreased from 51% to 41%, and that of the British company decreased from 49% to 15%. 44% is now in free float. It's worth noting that both shares in Global Depository Receipts were sold during the IPO with 1 GDR equal to 4 shares or $9.5, as noted by shareholder company representatives. Overall, the conducted trading is deemed successful. Both international institutions and Kazakh investors have shown interest in the airline securities.
It is noteworthy that 58% of the total placement volume of $370 million went to Kazakh investors, with 42% allocated to international investors. Additionally, over half of the allocation to Kazakh investors comprises retail investors, namely citizens of Kazakhstan. This IPO was unique in being conducted simultaneously on 3 exchanges: AIX, KASE and the London Stock Exchange. We observed significant demand surpassing the available supply.
And the new story to sum up with: Kazakh stallion Kabirhan is poised for deserved performance at the Dubai World Championship, as his daily training regimen and previous performances indicate so. This is what trainer Doug Watson and rider Pat Dobbs, who manages his preparation, said to New Time reporter Baljan Samigulina during her visit to the training center in Dubai. Notably, Kabirhan has already secured victories in prestigious Al Maktoum Challenge and Dubai Islands Handicap earlier this year, making a history in Kazakh horseback riding. The horse now gains attention from people around the world with his skills and expected to take one of leading places at the Cup. For further insights into his preparations for the upcoming top racing, please tune in to the exclusive report right now.
A 4-year-old Kabirhan is considered to be one of the fastest horses in the world. Critics rate him as once-in-a-lifetime talent. Kabirhan is descendant of the famous California Chrome. His father stallion is a Dubai 2016 champion. Currently owned by Kazakh businessman, Kabirhan is under the guidance of experienced trainer Doug Watson, who boasts over 20 seasons of training horses in Dubai.
He's a great size horse. He's got great scope to him, and his work ethic as a horse goes, how he takes every day of just easy canters to in his fast work is a bit different than most horses. He's definitely the best 1.25 mile horse that I've ever had, 2,000 meter horse, and he's very exciting for everybody here that works here, and there are about 80 of us, so we're all excited about him.
Kabirhan competed in a total of 11 horse races across Kazakhstan, Russia and UAE, winning in 10 of them. In January this year, he clinched a prestigious victory at Dubai Islands Handicap. Just 2 weeks later, he also secured another win in the Al Maktoum Challenge, claiming the grand prize of $1 million. His achievement marks a significant milestone as the first Kazakh horse to win these spots. Currently, Kabirhan is partnered with US jockey Pat Dobbs.
Here at the end of last year, so he's here about 3 or 4 months. What's so special about him, he's got a lot of ability, he's got a high cruising speed, and he can quicken off a fast pace, which not many horses can do. But he's got a little quirk to him as well, which the good ones have. So he's got all attributes to be a very good horse.
I don't know how to explain it exactly, but he just really enjoys what he does. He likes to compete, whether it be in the morning or in the afternoons. And what he has in the race is an unbelievable cruising speed, just very, very professional. He's a little naughty in the yard. Out on the racetrack, he does everything correct.
Now Kabirhan is expected to compete at the Dubai World Cup, which will be held on March 30. Trainer Doug Watson says he's got a big chance given his performance in previous races.
Difficult race every year, but probably we finished 4th in the race before a few years back. I would expect him to go better than that. He's better than the horse that finished 4th for us, and we're, like I said, just very excited about it. He will compete well. He's done everything right since he's got here, and he's been a pleasure to have in the yard.
Kabirhan more and more conquers the world with his skills. Soon he will take part in Dubai World Cup in March in order to compete for a place in top 10 ranking. Kazakhs are in big hope for his win. Bojan Samigulna, Bigbulat Bazarov, Silkway TV channel, Dubai.
That's it for today. All the main news about Kazakhstan and Central Asia you can find here. More special projects about our country you can also watch on Silkway TV channel. So stay tuned and see you next week.